talk, one child, one youth, one talk, you think big, you. Together we can do this in our continent, you. Think big, you. I say one talk, one child, one youth, one talk, you. Think big, you. Together we can do this in our continent, you. Think big, you.
Today is Sunday, the 7th of August 2022. This is Chief Abundance greeting the global community of TACCians. One day we shall all look back at life, and some of us will say, if I did know, while some of us will look back and said, I may not had an idea as to what I was doing, or I could not have seen this day. However, with blind faith, I took a leap and stood my ground. That is going to be the sentiments of the TACCians in this community. One will look back in regret. One will look back and basically blessed him or herself for having, not knowing, but with a leap of faith like Abraham, destined and determined to become greater. It is 7:16 on the continent of Africa. This is Chief Abundance. I want to congratulate Dr. Densil Douglas on his victory yesterday at the polls in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I also want to congratulate Dr. Isaac Newton, who have been the chief strategist, him and his team that advises the opposition, now Prime Minister, and also for their victory in, I think, Grenada's election that took place a couple of weeks ago. He was leading. And so, for those of you who have elections coming up, I think you need to get in touch with myself because, of course, you know, I only align myself with winners. And if you're not, you will become if you stick around long enough. No, that was an advertisement for Dr. Newton, of which he will pay me dearly. And so, Dr. Newton, we congratulate you. He's our Director of Strategic Partnership, Investment and Diplomatic Affairs, a Harvard, Princeton graduate. He knows what he do best. And so I know Nigeria, Ghana, and who else is coming up for election this year or next year. Please, I can always get in contact with Dr. Newton and his team if you think your party needs help. And so I want to congratulate him again there for pulling that victory in St. Kitts and Nevis. I know Antigua is going up for election next year as well, probably this year. Now, as it is now, there are several things that are happening in TACC. Of course, a lot of you know that We're about to roll out our exchange, but you know these things does not happen overnight. Sometimes, when you give deadlines, there's so many things that can interfere with deadlines or dates of rollouts. But nonetheless, we who are in the know are abreast of where we are, where the exchange is concerned. There are more developments that are taking place. You have one country that have indicated let me say the operatives, people of influence who have the leadership ears, who are much very interesting for the adoption of TACC for that country, whether, what is it, North or West Africa, something there. And so I am presently engaging different persons at the highest level, present and former diplomats. A couple of them suggested, since we do not have a crypto bill, would you be in a position, Abundance, to sponsor the bill for the country? And so that's where we are in that development. I cannot say much about it because I already indicated that let the players that will come know that I'm not about to compromise or to corrupt TACC to gain passage in any country or to be issued a license. We want to do this thing transparent. And yes, as one person said, this is Africa. Nothing is without corruption. But nonetheless, we are moving forward on that level because what we envision TACC to become, not only to be adopted by that North African country, but to become the digital crypto reserve for that country and many countries, whether in Central Africa or in the ECOWAS states, and go beyond the ECOWAS state, but become the crypto reserve for Africa. Because that's where we're going. That is how TACC will remain valuable. That is when we say a greater and a bigger than Bitcoin is here. Because once we are able to arrive at TACC as the African digital reserve currency, it means that it will secure the value, and we can generally be looking at an upward mobility in the price of TACC, because at the end of the day, there is only a definite amount of TACC can ever be in circulation. And having touched about the circulation, I might revisit the 6.5 million coins that is set to be burnt in September, because one of my policies and I've laid out is that any country that adopt TACC, I would like to at least give each citizen one coin. And the population of that country is just around about 6, 7, probably 8 million people. And so I am looking at those coins to be issued, because as it is, everything looks favorable where TACC adoption is concerned. where our head office would be, our headquarters would be. And so that is now the mindset that is now at work. Because at the end of the day, as I said to the Tiashans, the parable of the 10 virgin will reoccur in TACC. And you may delay the success of TACC by your actions. You might delay the success of yourself by your instant gratification. You may delay your success by not being meaningful. But if it does not happen in your time, it will happen in your children's time. Because delay, we may suffer, but we will not deny the victory and the accomplishment of that which TACC was intended to become. The children of Israel were promised a land that flows with milk and honey. The delays they had because of unbelief and the inability to follow instructions, to follow simple direction, not having the visionary eyesight, having been in slavery for over 400 years, being conditioned by poverty, artificial scarcity, because that is what is being played out for us people of color. We have been in this position for many centuries, and it has conditioned our mindset. And I will go back to St. Kitts election because I was listening to the commentary of yesterday and the mass corruption that took place in bribing for vote. And the commentary was saying that this has become the norm and practice in elections in St. Kitts. It's the same thing in Antigua. It's the same thing in the wider Caribbean, in Africa. It's all about bribe. And they're saying we as a people of color do not have time and patience for nothing long term. And so it's all about give it to me now. Except you bribe me, I will not vote. And so the results that we get at elections turn around to bite us all the time. Because how can you then demand of your politicians to be accountable, to provide an enabling environment for you to have opportunities and your children when you would have already taken your bribe? In other words, the politicians owe you nothing because they already paid you. Because that is what you're satisfied with. Instant gratification, satisfaction for today, with no patience for tomorrow. Isn't that the same thing in TACC? Instant gratification. You are settling for small 3 cents and 4 cents and 5 cents when that which you have, you're selling for 4 cents can be selling for 40,000. That what you're selling for 9 cents can be sold for 90,000. And so that is what the system has done on us. And most of the people that are doing these things have never accomplished anything greater than themselves. And so they do not have the vision. They do not even believe in TACC. And so the small cents satisfy their vision. These are the people you cannot give TACC in their hands because they will sell you out at the first bidding, at the first opportunity. They will sell you out without conscience because that is who we have been all along. Anybody who comes to our door knocking, we are willing to sell without even thinking about the long-term effect that it will have on us and our children to come. Look around the Afro-Caribbean countries. Look around to see who is taking over your economy with every passing elections. Your freedom, your dreams for you and your children. Look at what is happening down there in the country I just posted. How many billions they have been owed by the West. This is the plan. That is why the plan to keep the African continent in poverty is not by design. You heard the man that came out and said that these are policies that have been engineered by the West. You heard it. But yet still, you will still run after their programs. The people that put mechanisms in place to keep you in poverty, you will still run after their program of financial freedom. I tell you, we are really finished. We are really finished. The problem is, can we change? Can we reach to that level where we say enough is enough? Let us create our own economy. This is Chief Abundance. Good morning.